On today's episode of the Locked On Texans podcast, a one-on-one conversation with UNM running back Andrew Big Dolla Henry and Sarge and I close off today's show. A big Texans investment looks like what?
You are Locked On Texans, your daily podcast on the Houston Texans. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Battle Red Nation this Tuesday. Time to turn up. Welcome to today's episode. I'm your Texans football analyst and credentialed media member, John Hickman, alongside the man with the big hat, even bigger smile, and just do it with the Nike on, Brian Big Sarge Barfield. Thank you for making us your first listen of the day. And for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, a big Texans investment looks like what, Sarge? Is it running back? Is it bringing in another safety? Is it bringing in another linebacker? What does it look like? I can't wait to hear from you. But we open up today's show with a two-part conversation with Andrew Dolla Henry, running back out of UNM. In every draft, there's a gem hanging around somewhere. You can always find a diamond in the rough. And Andrew Henry, University of New Mexico running back, you are really hoping to be one of those draft gems for a lot of teams. Thank you for stopping by the Locked On Texans podcast. Before we even dive into talking about the draft and everything, that whole process, how are you right now as you prepare for the next phase in your life?
I would like to say that I'm just extremely blessed and honored. That would be the easiest way that I could say. Got a lot of mixed emotions right now, being in the situation. Like even us having this conversation right now, a lot of people wouldn't think that would be my situation right now. But, you know, I've been working hard, been training. So I just feel good. I'm excited, just ready for the future.
Yeah, I want to definitely get to your situation this past year at UNM, but you were invited to the East-West Shrine game, late ad, and I found something that they told you, listen, we're bringing you in here to play. We're not just bringing you in here. So you're not just going to be a body. You took advantage of that opportunity by ending the game with 68 yards on 11 carries. How was the feeling of just getting back out there on the field after missing a year due to ineligibility?
Like I said, it just was an honor and a blessing to be out there with all those guys. Especially, you know, a lot of guys, you know, we all earned the opportunity to be out there. So to be with a lot of the top tier guys was just really exciting. At first it was, I was a little nervous. Actually, no, I wasn't nervous. I was excited. And I just was looking for – this was an opportunity that I was looking for. You know, it was – you sit at home with your friends and you just talk about, you know, what if. And like one of those what ifs actually happened for me. And I actually did get that call. So I was extremely ready. And every day, you know, when you're training, you're always – like me, when I'm training every day, I got that chip on my shoulder. So I felt like I was ready to play. I've been ready to play. 3 months ago, I was ready to play, you know? So it's like, so for me now, it's just like God, like I get the opportunity, I'll get that call. Like I knew I was going to play well. I thought I could play a little better, you know, seeing the iPad on the sideline. But, you know, like I said, the situations happen. But, you know, I did what I did, and I was able to show just my skill set of just being a football player. I showed I can ball. And imagine what I could do with practice.
Yep. Missing that time off last season hurt. I know it did. Every football player hates to miss time. And your ineligibility came from a mistake by the university. Again, I know that's frustrating. I'm sure it's frustrating. How were you able to bounce back from that mentally and physically, keeping yourself in shape? And how do you use that to fuel your journey to the NFL?
I ended up having a son last March. So that was during the football season, and I already had that mindset going in my last season that I was going to be one of the top guys to coming out, getting ready for the draft. So that's always been on my mind. And like I said, I'm a big believer, so I believe that was going to happen no matter what. So, you know, me missing the season, I was very upset at first. I feel like I put a lot of effort and time, and I felt like it was right for me. Like, it was that time. Like, you know, you feel like you deserve something. You know, hard work pays off. And I feel like I showed up early, was being the leader, was doing all the little things, and I feel like I did everything on my end that I needed to do, and all I needed was to play. And for that to be the only thing I literally couldn't do, it was very upsetting at first, but like I said, I just worked too hard. And I put it on my mind that I'm gonna make it happen, and the only way I know it to make it happen is keep working. So I treat it every week like they were getting ready for a game. I treat it like I was getting ready for a game. I'm showing up when they finish practice. I'm showing up. I'm catching whatever quarterback's gonna throw. I'm still doing indie with all the running backs that I was doing when I was leading the practice. We would do indie after practice. I'm showing up and I'm doing those same workouts with them. I'm having a whole practice every day. Then I end up leaving early to start training. So I started getting ready for pro day November. I was like, what's the next step? For me, it was just, all right, what's the next thing to do is work.
I mean, if you stay ready, you don't got to get ready, right? And
yes, sir.
With that being said, Kevin Fielder tweeted, being a late call to the game, and your response to the Eastern Shrine game, your response to that was no days of practice, picked up an offense in 24 hours. Can you speak to why that's really a flex to say, hey, listen, I just got off the bus. I just got off the plane. No practice, 24 hours. I got it done, and then I only getting it done through the mental part aspect, but just, again, 68 yards on 11 carries, first time touching the field in a while. That's a flex.
No, yeah, definitely, because like I said, practice is a lot. Knowing the game plan, knowing the scheme, knowing where people are blocking, knowing just getting the tempo. Playing running back it's a speed game. Like I gotta know how fast everyone's moving. I gotta know the read. So without actually doing that, and I played in the Mountain West, and all those guys in the D line were Power 4 schools. So a lot of people would think that you wouldn't be used to the speed, or like I said, me being in the Mountain West, you would think that they would say speed would be an issue. But the fact that speed wasn't an issue for me when I was out there playing, and just learning up an NFL offense, it's not a college offense where there's signal everything we do. Like it's really like 10-word calls, catch your call, like formation. I showed up Wednesday night, met with the coach for 2 hours. The next day, they went to the ceremony. I stayed back at the hotel, went over the offense, then we played. They called the plays. It wasn't like they were changing calls. Like they called the same plays. They called everything. I was able to run it, and you wouldn't have known. I know, like I told you earlier, like I'm looking on the iPad, and I'm like, ooh, I should have did this, should have done that. I know, even me, I feel like I could have did better out there, but I was able to show you, give me the rock, I can make something happen.
Yeah, so even with your time that, you're coming in 24 hours, having a successful moment, did you get an opportunity to speak with any coaches, any scouts out there?
I didn't have the opportunity to speak to anyone at the game, but after the game, I was able to talk to a few teams.
That's a positive. That's a big positive. And I mean, again, what a flex to get off the bus, learn an offense in 24 hours, and be successful out on the field. If you could compare yourself to any running back in the NFL right now, who would it be and why?
I would say like a Alvin Kamara or like a Jahmyr Gibbs, and I would just say like the way that I'm able to score the ball, however you need it, you throw it to me. We can go inside zone, outside zone, counter, power, whatever you want to call, we can do it, and I can pass for it. So I just feel like my ability to make plays and make people miss in space and my balance. If you watch my film, like people try to tackle me, I'm bouncing off, or I'm just cutting back, or I'm real smooth with the game. I know how to find the end zone. And I feel like those guys are definitely explosive players, and the players you can keep in the game a lot, and you want those players on the field. However you can keep them on the field, we can keep them on the field. Put them out wide. If you need them to do stuff at receiver, they can do that. Just like I can go do whatever you need a receiver to do at a running back type. So there's no need to change personnel. So keep me in. Third down, I'll go pass pro, I'll go run around. First down, I might even score, so we don't need to do all that. But I feel like that's why I would compare myself to those guys.
When we come back, we got more Locked On Texans, more Andrew, Dolla Henry on the opposite side. So you're not going to want to miss this. Please don't go nowhere. More running back talk. When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, America's number one sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game. So even if you missed the opening tip-off or want to bet on a fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in on the action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can combine live bets into a same-game parlay. A lot of my families outside of the state of Texas tell me all the time, hey, man, look on FanDuel. What are the odds? What are the props? What are the parlays you're looking forward to? Send me the money. We'll get you in on the action. And listen, app is very easy to use. It ain't a lot of clunk going on. And when you win, you get paid instantly. We got bills that show up instantly. Why not get paid instantly? And right now, new customers can bet $5. If you win $5, FanDuel is giving you $150 in bonus bets if you join today and win your first $5 bet. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Welcome back in, Locked On Texans listeners and viewers. Still, UNM running back Andrew Henry. Where did the Dolla come from? We got to get clarification on that.
Yeah. So I was in JUCO. Like morale's been hard for a long time. So like this is like I say, when I say I'm blessed and favored, this is my testimony, and the reason why I'm here doing this with you is for me to be able to share that with you right now. But coming out of high school, I was highly recruited, like number 3 running back, in the nation at the time. I was a junior. Senior year, I didn't play. I tore my ACL week 1, and I'm going to JUCO route. And that was rough. JUCO was rough. I felt like I was this type of guy, and I was in this environment, and COVID hit, and it was just hard. But I ended up going to Trinity Valley Community College.
Right.
And I just created this alter ego, I guess you could say. I just created something in my mind where it was just, I just knew I was the person I was. I wasn't that at that moment. I was more. So I just created this person. At first, everyone was like, it was like dollar bills, like the full thing, because it was just like where do you get that from? I seen Leonard Fournette put $100 bills on his back plate.
Man, your story sounds like it's full of adversity. Tearing your ACL week 1 senior year after being one of the best players in the nation. Your time last year not going the way you expected and just fighting through the adversity. So a lot of kudos to you, because the adversity is going to continue to come with your journey to the NFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at your time in New Mexico isn't typically known for producer running backs, right? But you guys had one of the better rushing offenses in the NCAA the last 3 years. What's driving the success up there? Is it Coach Kurt Garner, running backs coach, or the big boys up front? What has allowed you guys to be successful toting that rock?
I would say the guys that I was there with, New Mexico wasn't known for winning. And I just know the guys that I was blessed to be in that room with, we set a foundation that we weren't going to be a part of that no more. And we weren't going to be the reason why that was New Mexico was, the bad news bears anymore. So everyone I was in the room with, from, Jacory, Bill, he ended up going to Arizona, from Eli Sanders to, we was all in that room, pushing each other. If you don't score, I'm going to score. So it's like we just got tired of that narrative, and then we play a position where we can control that, especially in college football. When we pass, bro, we run routes, we run the ball, we score points. So we just set a foundation, and I feel like that community of Albuquerque, they're just, I don't know, I feel like they're known for having running backs. Don't you know, they're known for having, and to us, they're known to have. So we're always told, we come to New Mexico to run the ball. So for us, we took that personal. Oh, you finna give us the ball? All right. So I definitely feel like it was just a group of guys that we came together and we said we're gonna work. And I would definitely say, me, I'm always trying to push the guy. So with me being that type of guy in that room, I'm gonna always push. And with cream around, we talk, we pushing each other. When you getting better, I'm getting better. So now I'm talking trash, you talking trash, but it's love. You score, I'm the first one giving you a hug, and when they score, I'm the first one. So I just feel like that family bond.
Now here in Houston, Joe Mixon leads the way. He leads the charge. He's the number one guy. He's going to be the number one guy. But there is a number of people, growing number of people, that believe it's time for the Houston Texans to revamp the running back room. Not necessarily moving away from Joe, but bringing in a young running back that could add to the room and potentially be the future running back for the Houston Texans. How would you feel? I know you're a Dallas native, but how would you feel playing for the Houston Texans?
I mean, it'd be a blessing to, just playing at home state, Texas. I'll be honored and blessed, if they wanted to make that move with me. it'd be exciting. My family would come, so I like that. That'd be a great opportunity for me.
Thank you, Andrew, for stopping by, making time for us. We really appreciate it here on this show. On your journey to the NFL, good luck. And listen, man, by chance you win a Super Bowl down the line, just, hey, listen, come back to the show, talk football with us, man.
Nah, yeah, definitely. We definitely gotta do that one. I'm gonna promise you that one now. So now I gotta go get that. Or I'm gonna get that MVP. I'm gonna get that MVP. We'll do it too.
Go get that. Go get that and come back to the Locked On Texans. Thank you, and have a good one. Good luck. Welcome back in, Locked On Texans listeners and viewers. That was running back Andrew Dolla Henry. Sorry for some of the connection issues. However, we hope that you just take some time and dive into the player and dive into some of the things that he's been able to do over the course of his collegiate career. And, of course, good luck to Mr. Dolla Henry on his journey to the NFL to make an NFL roster. Sarge, Monday show we talked about, what does Dameon Pierce's future look like for the Houston Texans, essentially, and whether or not the Houston Texans should bring in or draft a running back in a very deep running back draft class. Just talked to Andrew Henry, running back, right? And so does your investment for the Houston Texans, maybe big or shockingly surprising, does that lie at the running back position? Or for a 53-man roster, you're maybe looking at other holes on the defensive side of the ball, or maybe offensive side of the ball, and saying, listen, they need to invest here for a successful 25, excuse me.
John, one thing that made me a very good student when I was in school, and I'm talking about from preschool all the way through college, one of the things that made me a very good student was I had to ask questions. And even though you asked me what a big Texans investment looks like, I got to ask questions. Are we talking about a big investment for next year? Are we talking about a big investment for the future? Like, what is the time frame that we're looking at as far as a big investment? Because if we're looking at just like for next year, then it looks like nothing to me, because I don't think that the Texans are in a position to be able to invest in anything as far as, especially with the way that they're strapped as far as cap space is concerned. And so if you're talking about the 2025 season, a big investment looks like, hey, paying Derek Stingley Jr., give him the bag. That's what a big investment looks like to me. Everything else, unless you're willing to go in and you're going to say, hey, I'm going to see what the New York Jets want for Garrett Wilson. If I'm going to go all in, then now we're looking at an all in for the future as far as, the next 3 to 5 years.
You think Davis Mills can get some teams to call for him?
Call for him to do what? Go golfing? Because he's an avid golfer. He's an avid golfer. He loves to golf.
I think compete for a QB1. You don't think he can get it done?
You ain't calling for maybe some stock tips, because he did go to Stanford. He's a very smart guy.
D Milling in New York City may move mountains. I don't know, man.
Have you seen? Do you know who the new New York Jets head coach is?
Yeah, Nimitz grad Aaron Taylor. I mean, I'm not Aaron Taylor. Aaron Glenn.
Yeah, I don't think that Davis Mills has any of those intangibles that Jared Goff has, and you don't have Ben Johnson attached to Davis Mills, so that bringing him there. No. So with that being said, if an investment for next season looks just like, hey, we're gonna do the best with what we got. You got to make it work. Do what's best with what you got. But if you're going to make an investment, you're talking about an investment that you're looking forward to having for the next 3 to 5 years, and not just for a 1-year rental. You're not looking for a Stephon Diggs type player. If you're looking for, then that means that if you're investing now, you're definitely giving up assets for the future. And then what happens when you turn right back around and you're in this position again? Because if you plan on keeping some of this talent, a lot of this talent, then you're going to be looking at big contracts coming down the line as well.
Well, I think a big investment for the Houston Texans all centers around the number 25 overall pick. Well, a big investment for Houston is if there's a guy that they believe will be available between 15 and 20 that they feel like they absolutely need, I don't know, maybe they invest and move up from 25 and trade a later pick in the draft, or maybe they look to trade a pick in the next year's draft to go get their player. That's a big investment. But I think an even bigger Texans investment would be trading down from 25 and getting some picks back, whether it be for 2026 or for this current NFL draft period, and using those picks to say we got some issues on our roster, whether that be our floor as some of our groups isn't as high as the other floor, or whether that be normally, Nick has operated with outside of his first year, he's operated with a few picks in his draft. He only has 6 this year. He may want to look to utilize some of those draft picks in later rounds to maybe bring in guys that can compete for a roster spot and maybe some special teams play. So I think a big investment for the Houston Texans would absolutely look to be centered around the number 25 overall pick, whether they look to move up or move down and get assets back. And I think that's a very much so an option that this team should look at.
What is your winning window for the Houston Texans, John?
That's a good question. I think it's 3 years.
3 years, your winning window. So that means that you're going to have to try to make some type of investment over the next 3 years, or you're going to be looking at yourself. You're going to be looking at the same problem in the mirror again about not having enough money to pay the talent that you need. And so if you
win, it don't matter, right?
If you win, hey, listen, what did I say? Hey, use the model that the Rams used when they gave up all their picks and they won the Super Bowl, and use the model that the Philadelphia Eagles did this past season by giving big money contracts, doing whatever, being able to manipulate that cap space to give the big talent big money and still be able to win the Super Bowl. John, I'm all for doing whatever it's going to take to win the Super Bowl. If I'm a Houston Texan, if I'm a part of the Houston Texans organization, if I'm part of the Houston Texans fans, John, I don't care nothing about the picks in 2028. And can I get a Super Bowl in 2026?
Yeah.
I don't give a pick. I don't care about pick. I don't care about giving up a first and a second round pick in 2031. Am I going to win the Super Bowl? Will those picks help me get back the talent that I need to win right now? We'll worry about 2031 when we get there, but let's do what we need to do now.
Another big investment would absolutely be, and they already started the process, making sure that Blake Fisher is the guy moving forward. But Titus Howard, I'm always fair to his circumstance here in Houston. There's always a lot of back and forth moving him across the line. You got to make sure that you are heavily invested in that young man at right tackle.
All right. Hold on, John. I got another question for you real quickly. So who's coaching your investments? Who's your stockbroker? Who's handling, or who's your hedge fund guy? Who's managing your investments?
JP Morgan. Now it's going to be Cole Popovich. It's going to be the coaching staff. It's going to be who's here.
How long are they here?
The coaching staff is D'Amico's choices. Well, I don't know.
Because sometimes an investment you may put into an investment right here for year one that may not mature till year 7.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Dogecoin to pop off.
Who?
I'm still waiting for Dogecoin to pop off. They do that, I can retire.
So you see what I'm saying, though, John? So like, are the people that's handling your investment in year one, are they going to mess it up? Because let's put it like this. Let's look at it like this. They invested in CJ Stroud. They drafted CJ Stroud. First year, okay. Second year, the return on investment was not as good because of the person that was managing him. Now there's somebody else that's coming in that's going to manage him. When is that stock going to, mature to the point where that ROI is like, wow? And so when you're looking at these type of investments, John, that's the bigger question for me. Who's handling these investments? Because if you get you a good wide receiver, but the turnover at OC is every 2 years, that means that now everybody's coming in with a different type of mindset of what I'm going to do. No. The last person knows what to do with that investment. Let me show you how I can really, make this investment grow. So it just depends on who's handling them as well.
That's true. Also, maybe Houston should look to invest in themselves by moving off some of those assets. I'm going to throw this out. We can talk about it later in the week. Should Houston move on from Christian Harris and Titus Howard via trade to get more back here in the city of Houston? Thank y'all for watching today's episode of the Locked On Texans podcast. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on YouTube and wherever you listen to your podcast.
Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. You have lost your mind.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace.